Good evening. Welcome to the first episode of Pinstripes After Dark. I am Uncle Tats, and I already had one issue, and it decided that it did not want to broadcast through our Facebook page, which is all good because we're here on YouTube. We're ready to have a good time. Brad, right? This time zone that I'm doing this in was for you. I need to get you back into the chat. I need you back into the fold. It's Clay tablet's ready. I don't know if I'm ready. I really don't. I'm not sure how this is going to go. I wanted to give a lot of people that are not awake in the morning a place to go to, have a fun time, talk a little Yankees. So Brad, this really, I wanted to get you back into the fold, and I'm glad you're here. MH, Donald's agent, how's everything going? Yeah, no, I got the new camera set up, and I had to get something a little more high def where it wasn't looking so grainy, because as much as the Yankees want to make you kind of hide your face as a fan, I wanted to make sure that everybody was able to just kind of get a little more glimpse into the Yankee cave in the house. I'm going to be redecorating the wall at some point. Maybe I'll start that tomorrow for Wednesday's show. But we have some baseball to talk about for a little while. And if you're in the chat, make sure you, as always, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop your comments in the chat. Let's get the conversation going. I'm happy to be here. So let's just get going. The game tonight is just fucking terrible. There's no way to put it. They put up the run in the first inning. You're like, you know what? It's actually looking like the Yankees actually might put up a fight tonight. This is really cool. They tie up the game. Boom, we take the lead right back. And I'm like, they're playing up to their competition. I said on this morning's show, the Yankees are officially a bottom feeder team. They are not the mighty Yankees anymore. They're really not. And once Schmidt kind of started getting knocked around again, as the game progressed, you're like, there's the Yankees we all know. Here they are. Here they come to just squash our hopes and dreams because that's what they've been doing. And it just seems like it's never going to end. So let me know in the comments. Drop a question, a statement. How you feeling about what was your overall take on the game tonight? How pissed off are you? Are you not even surprised? And as we start to get going a little bit, I'm going to be dropping what I think come September. Actually, more after the 18th, where they're able to call up somebody where they're not going to have to worry about their precious, service time. What I think the lineup should be going into the end of the season to just say, you know what, it's time to just put the season's gone. That my guess is by the 18th, they're just going to be even further back from the wild card. So it's going to be a season where we do not make the playoffs. And there's a lot of people that feel that they should just go under. Don't even play to 500. Just the Yankees are due for a complete drop off the face of the earth. What they need to do is finish under 500, miss the playoffs. Unfortunately, and believe me, I'm not a big fan of Boone. You've heard it. You've heard me talk about it. I'm not a big fan of him. But it's very upsetting that Boone's going to end up being the scapegoat. He's the one that's going to lose his job. And it is frustrating. It's aggravating because the guys, they had him on such a short leash to be himself that he was in a no-win situation with Cashman at the helm. And I think we could all acknowledge that. Does he need to go? Do we need a new, somebody new in the dugout that's going to, behind closed doors, when Cashman's not paying attention, going, hey, guys, what the fuck are you doing? Why can't you just simply play baseball the way you were playing in the minor leagues that got you to this point? Have you, listen, don't tell them I told you that. It's almost like, don't tell your mother I said that you're allowed to have that little cookie. You want that extra snack at night. Listen, just don't tell your mother. Why can't Boone do that and tell these guys to just get the fuck off the slide and start playing some real baseball? I think the only time that we were ever to truly see what Boone can do as a manager when they don't have him on a leash was the first half of last year. I really think, and look at the season they were putting together. That was Boone managing, and then they were like, "Wait, you're actually good at this, and you're going to make us look bad, so we're going to take the team back." And then we had the disaster in the second half of the year. But we have some new voices in the chat. I want to hear everybody's opinion. Pete from NYY News TV. Tass, let's go. Hey, I'm ready. I'm awake. This is my prime time. I'm just getting home from work. Had a little conversation really quick with Kelly before she went to sleep. I'm going to try not to scream too loud. Believe me, all you married guys know, you wake the wife up, you're in trouble, and I don't want this to be a one and done show. Lori, how's everything going? Glad to see you in the stream. I don't really care if Boone is the scapegoat. At least someone will be fired. I agree. I do. I look. I'm not advocating for Boone to keep his job. He fucking sucks. There's no way around it. He's terrible. Why is he terrible? Because he cannot be himself. When you can't be yourself, who are you? I think the best thing for him and his future is to get fired. Because the longer he stays here, the more he's going to lose himself and his brilliant baseball mind and his 3 generations of baseball. Believe me, the only reason that he's got this fucking position is for one home run. And I said it a couple streams ago. I would have rather them not won that game. I would have rather them not hit that home run because look at what we got now. We went with the Yankees with Boone and Cashman are like those kids that peaked in high school that are in their 30s that still think that they're the cool kids in the classroom, right? It doesn't work anymore, all right? Yeah, Tats After Dark is a scary proposition. You're no fucking kidding, right? Because now it's not in the morning when I have my coffee. I got my beer with me. I'm ready to go. I'm gonna have some fun. What's going on, Li? Good to see you here. I saw FJ in the chat. I've accepted that this season is over. I really think we all have. What bothers me is I see no hope for change in the immediate future. Well, I'm going to pin this comment because in a little while, probably at midnight, I'm going to be pulling up what I feel should be the lineup going forward after the 18th, but they don't have to worry about the service time. And with the September, by then, we're going to be so far out of the wild card, it's not going to fucking matter who we put on the field. So I'm going to be going through everything. Hype Beast Jay, the first person that ever come into our streams. Hype Beast, you will always have a special place with us. My expectation dropped every game, and they still manage to not meet my already lowered bar. Yeah, believe me, there's a lot of bars that they cannot pass. It's just they have completely fallen off the fucking map. It's embarrassing. I do not turn into werewolf after. Believe me, and the mustache is coming back, right? And it's everything's right in the world. Everything's all good. I'm so tired of it. We had a game tonight with Schmidt on the mound. Right. Let's talk a little bit about tonight's game. Right. We saw a little bit of the outburst, a little bit of offensive fire, and we only put up 1 run, so it's not like we were tearing the cover off the ball. It's when we were able to put up a run in the first inning. For that moment, it really gave us that sense of mind that maybe they're actually going to pull this off. Maybe they're actually going to be able to put together a competitive game. And then once Atlanta's offense found this rhythm and they were starting to figure out Schmidt, the game was over. It's There was no such thing as a shutdown inning, and I don't want to put the blame on Schmidt. Right, this was the first true test of a team that he's had to face, and he's been one of our better pitchers. So I think that this is one of those games where you could say he's that solid pitcher that just got the timing was terrible. Right, we want to be able to say that we have a legitimate rotation, but we don't. There are too many injuries, right? So I'm going to give you a preview of what I think the rotation should be going forward. Because we have Rodon, don't know what the fuck's going on with him. Nestor, he was here, he was gone. Herman's got the suspension. And I hope he's doing well. I hope he never comes back. But for himself on a personal level, I hope he finds the help he needs. But I don't ever want to see him in a uniform ever again. My rotation would be, I would have, obviously Cole's the ace, the Cy Young. He's the guy, right? And this offensive the offensive's let him down so fucking much. It's painful. I would actually have Schmidt as my number 2. But he's got an 8-9 record, right? Think of the wins that he would have had if the offense was actually clicking. Because his ERA is not atrocious. It's really not. You know, he's pitching to an ERA of what his spot in the rotation would call for. That's just the way it is. I think Schmidt is going to, he seems to have that mental makeup where after tonight's game, I think his next start, his adrenaline, he's going to be fine. I think he's going to have a bounce back game. I'm actually looking forward to his next start. Right? I don't think any of us expected him to get smacked around like he did. I expected that out of the bullpen, but not from Schmidt. I think he's proved himself, and I think there's a lot more untapped talent and potential with Clark Schmidt. So I would have him as my number 2 starter. Right? Number 3, Vasquez. Bring him up. Let's go. Put him in. Enough fucking around. Right? We can't do it anymore. It's time to just shit or get off the pot. Right? We want to know if we're going to be able to survive in 2024. Start bringing these guys up. Don't wait until spring training, like I said earlier. Don't wait till spring training. September should be the early spring training for the Yankees. Now's the time to see what you have. Give Vasquez the number 3 spot in the rotation for the rest of the season and let the chips fall where they may. All right. My number 4 starter is Brito. All right. I think Brito is another guy that's got untapped potential. And I think that he's just a lot of the pitchers between like him and Vasquez. The reason that they've had such poor numbers is because the offense does shit. If you can't put runs up, the disservice that you are giving these pitchers is embarrassing. You're the Bronx Bombers. It's power and pitching. We had the pitching to start the season. We thought, they thought they had the offense. We all know that there were a lot of flaws on this team. There's no other fucking way around it. But I would not. I would go. Those would be my first 4. Would be Cole, Schmidt, Vasquez, Brito. Right. The number 5 starter. That's the tricky one because they're going to throw Sevy out. They're going to put him in there. We're going to see him in game 2, and if they were able to tattoo Schmidt, God knows what they're going to do to Sevy in the first inning. This is going to be so fucking bad. It really is. Dev, what's going on? I didn't see you in there real quick. No, Dev, welcome. Hype Beast, he's like, you guys see this comment in the chat? What do you think? Sevy over under 5 run runs. Is that just in one inning or is that throughout the whole game? Because that could be the fight, the first inning over under. We all know what he's like. Take the over with Sevy. Yeah, you're right, Brad. Absolutely. Um, Lori, yeah, stop pretending, start preparing for 2024. Yeah, it's they actually think that they still have a fucking chance. How bad is that? How what blinded? I want to know what they drink or smoke because yeah, first inning. You're right, Jay. You know, I want to know what they have in their diet or what their extracurriculars are that they are so far into fucking la la land that they don't see what we see. That's embarrassing. And like we always say, how are we pissed off yet? We've been pissed off since you made that fucking statement because we should not have been in that position even back in June. But you created this. How you created this mess? You're the one that decided that you wanted to be the big bad Yankee owner, but you don't know how to be the big bad Yankee owner. So yeah, you pissed us all off, and you're feeling it. You're going to hear it from us, right? I know that there's this big event. I think it's on the 9th. There's like a Fire Cashman event that's going on at the stadium, and I fucking love it. I wish I can get there, but I can't. I'll be there the day after. I'll be there on the 10th. I want to get to this real quick because I am going to be getting into my lineup in a minute or so. All right, an Li who breaks it down almost as good as anybody, and he gets a lot of shit, but he does know what he's talking about. So he said, "Here's the rest of my 2023 lineup." In the shortstop, Anthony Volpe. Left field, Florial. Second base, Torres. DH, Stanton. First base, Bowers. Center field, Bader. Third base, Peraza. Catcher, Roydvet. Right field, Everson Pereira. I'll give you a little teaser for a second. We're not that Li and I are not that far off, but mine is very different. Li, if you saw the chat, I don't see Judge. Are you shutting him down, or it was an oversight? I'm just curious of why Judge is not in your lineup there. Yeah, the front office think the Yankees are actually ostriches. That might be the new name of the team. Yeah, they're just terrible. There's no end in sight with this. It's just going to be a disaster over and over. All right, no, okay, I like Judge done for the year. Okay, I have no issues with anybody that wants to shut Judge down. I would, all right, but before I bring up my lineup, yeah, where is Judge? I think Li answered that for us. We got the irrelevant fan. He has not been around in a long time. But how's everything going? Orioles rule. I said it 2 years ago. Don't stop sleeping on the Orioles. They are building up, and they're building up quick. And they're going to come back, and they're going to bite us all in the ass. And that's exactly what they're doing. They are loving it. And everyone's like, oh, but it's the Orioles. The Orioles did it right, right? They did exactly what the Astros did. They tanked for years. They built up their farm system, and they brought the kids up. And look what they're doing. They're turning into studs right before our eyes. And we peaked in 17. That was the highlight of this whole big run. Just when we thought we were getting started, it was over. They changed the manager. They decided that the analytics was just going to rule the world, right? And they shit the bed. They really did. So let's get into my lineup. Right. So the way I did it, let me make this a little easier for everything. There you go. So, and one more from Brad here. Honestly, I agree. Shut Judge down. There's no point in playing him. The only reason that, as you can see, I have him in my lineup is it's the marketing. It's also you may have, and this was a point that was brought up on the fan. with the way that the Yankees are playing on the secondary market, tickets are going down. The price of the tickets. So you're going to have families that on a regular season when they're playing well with tickets or a premium that they might not have been able to go see the games. Now you're going to, these parents are going to be able to take their kids to the game that want to see Judge play. So for that reason, I would keep Judge in the lineup. But I don't ever let him play the field again for the rest of the year. He's strictly a DH. And depending on how the game is going, you either you sub him out. What's going on, NFE? So here's my lineup. I have Volpe leading off. Torres, Volpe shortstop. Torres second base. Batting third, I put Bader. And then I have Judge as my DH because I was not sure if I wanted to flip Torres and Judge. My logic to it was, and it was another point that somebody, a radio host brought up, I would let Volpe get as much protection behind, in front of Judge, because with Judge, you're going to see better pitches. But with the way Torres is playing, I feel that he would get the same thing. I actually think it was either between Torres and Judge, he should bat in front of one of those two guys. But I did not want Torres as my number 4 hitter. So that's why I did it that way. I have Peraza up here. He's my third baseman. And this is not just for one night. This is until the season's over. Okay? I have Cabrera in right field. Okay? And the reason I have him in right is because I do want Pereira back. I want him in the left field spot. I want to see what he's got. Right? LeMahieu at first base. Right? I know he's, there was some uncertainty in the show this morning before it was announced he was in the lineup. That he was, I do want some veteranship on the field. And if I'm going to be taking Judge off the field, I think LeMahieu needs to be on the field. So that was my logic to that. Right? It might be flawed. This is me we're talking about. I bring up Wells. Right? I tell Higgy, sorry, you had your chance. I can't. I'm not going forward with him. And the reason I kept Royfett for the bench over Higgy is lefty. Plain and simple. All right. I want the left side. I'm putting Wells as my everyday catcher. Prove it. Right. I have a guy that I work with. Right. Love him dearly. He's awesome. His on his tombstone, we all joke around. It's gonna say prove it. Because that's what he says it all the fucking time. So Wells, you want to be our catcher? You want to be you want to have your shot? You have until the end of the year to prove that you can progress as a catcher. Otherwise, you're going to be on we're going to have to move you to first base in the off season going into spring training. So that was my logic to that. And I have Pereira left field, batting ninth. This could all be, Uncle Tat's logic should never be used in the same sentence. Go suck at bread. No, no. I want something. If we're not going to make the playoffs, right? And I think that if you're able to give these kids a shot, why wait? Why wait until after the off season, where who knows what? We know you're not going to make any significant moves, right? Why not just see what you have? That's the funny. That's the whole thing. That's the whole point to this. See what you got. Don't wait until the off season. See what you have now. So when the off season comes, you have a better idea of what you need to address in the offseason. Maybe one of these players is really, just knocks it out of the park where you have no shot and you need to make a move. You need to you need to tweak something a little bit. Now, my bench, I have Stanton, and I like Stanton. I do. He's one of the few guys that have come that have. When was the last time we had a Yankee a player get traded to the Yankees? Completely shit the bed when he starts. Has a rough start, striking out all the time. Never, ever, ever hit from a camera. Held himself accountable. Right. Now I'm gonna go through the comments again in a second, Li. It's he's helped. He's the first one to say, "Booming, I suck. I can't. I'm not performing." This is what This is what you expect as a player when you come to New York and you lay an egg. You don't see that. When was even with all the money he has and all the money he's making, he wants to play. He wants to play well. He wants to be a contributor. He wants to be a driving force. I just think with the injuries, he's never been able to get that rhythm to just get going. Bowers, I have him as a backup for first base and the outfield. IKF was tough. I really want him in my lineup. He's really proven himself to be a commodity. But I have to put him on the bench if I want to really if I'm going to really drive home the fact that I want to see what the kids have. I want to see what they're going to do. So that would be my lineup for the rest of 2023. Now, let's get back to some of these comments because you guys are absolutely killing it. And I'm loving it. Just remember, hit that like button. Share this out. If you haven't already, hit the sub button. I know all of you guys already are. But for anybody that might watch this on the playback, we always appreciate it. Channel's growing. Grow with us. So, LA here goes, and you know who maybe you play Emerson Pereira. The Mariners fell in love with him. They lose an innings. They could probably trade us Logan Gilbert. That gives us a young starter. You never know. Not, you can't go screaming for players to be called up, and as soon as they kind of maybe it would depend on how he did. I think that if he could be if he shows that he's got the potential to be a legitimate everyday player. I don't know if I want to say all-star or anything like that. Superstar. I don't know. I got to see what the kids have first. But we may need to move somebody like him for a starter. You're absolutely right, Li. You're not off the mark there. Brad, be careful. Yeah. Look, little side note. Wander Franco is an asshole. All right? Don't even get me. I'm not going to get started on that. All right? Here it is. It's the first episode. Pinstripes After Dark. We're all having a good time. And the other comment from Li here. Right? Li, I think you sleep as much as I do. Because you're in all these streams. I love it. I love having you around. Despite what the consensus may say. I would have Wells at the first base of the future. I worry about his arm behind the plate. That's why I want to see what he's got. I want to see. We may have to do something in the offseason for a catcher. But it can't be the combination of fucking Higgy and Rodvet. We can't. I'm not relying on. Look, Jose Trevino gave us a phenomenal year last year, a career year. But what, maybe next year he goes back to it. We know he was dealing with things. Um, he was trying to play through it. I commend him for it. But you saw the way the season was going. You had to do something. You can't just. It gets to that point where you can't play through it. You got to make a decision. What's going on, Sunil? Sunil, what's going on? And give me a second, because my throat is starting to really dry up. And I know Brad likes Brett. Oh, here we go. Grace Monroe, how is everything going? Welcome to the Pinstripe Chronicles After Dark. See, you guys now in the chat, you're just giving me a whole new fucking life. But let's see Trevino after. No, we have to see Trevino after his surgery, because that might be why he had such a terrible year. It just might be that, Well, I'll see you too, Grace. Love you. With Sunil, really? You play pickleball? Anybody else play pickleball? Let me tell you, the school I work in, they use our gym, and they go fucking nuts for that game. I mean, you would think what the hell they were playing for, and this is just, for the adults to get out of the house for a little while and play an activity. They get fucking serious. I never heard of it until a couple of years ago, and they get like 50 to 70 people in this gym, all just like on bating breath, waiting to get their chance to play pickleball. I don't get it. I've watched it. I just don't get it. Pretty much like the Yankees. We don't get it. No pickleball, like to punch, kick, submit people. Yeah. I mean, I just like to chat. Let me tell you, if I was able to do this full time and just, a lot of us, we all saw, Pete's stream where he did the 24 hours. That's how I feel sometimes. I could do it. They don't even want to talk to me at work. They make me work by myself. It's like they put me in the bathroom. Nobody wants to hear me talk Yankees all the time because I can't shut up about it. I'm an outsy. What the fuck is pickleball? It's Sunil. You got it. You because you play it, so you would be able to describe it better than I am. But I mean, if you enjoy it, well, who am I to fucking tell you what to do? I just don't get it. Pickleball makes more sense than the Yankees. Anything makes more sense than the Yankees. Sometimes you know what I'm waiting for this season. When you have that one play, when you watch a Little League, and they make contact with the ball, and everybody runs to it. Every kid wants to make that play, and they all run to the ball. I'm waiting for that this season. I really am. They all just and they collide, and they fall like Uncle Mine would lose his. I would not lose my mind as a content creator. Brad, come on, give me a little fucking credit. I may be a little off the wall sometimes. I may be extremely forgetful. I don't hide it, but I love what I do. I love doing this with you guys. I really do. Like I said, if I could do this full time, I would do it in a heartbeat. I would sit in front of a camera all the time, talking to anybody that wants to have a conversation about the Yankees. So, what do you guys want to talk about? It's also your Tats. Would you re-sign Bader? Bader would be my plan B. Right, I would keep him really close. Right, I'd keep him close because I would. If there was real traction for somebody else to pick him up, I would do it. I would just say, you know what? I don't want to lose him. His athleticism in the outfield is such a premium. Right? We've seen a lot of fly balls. You're like, how the fuck did he get to that? I would have tripped 15 times. Technology would not destroy. Brad, you're killing me here. Give me, I am not that bad. I'm learning. Who do you think does everything behind the scenes, Brad? Me. I don't have a producer. I got me, myself, and I. Um, and I I never have a problem with it. All right, so Sunil put a little description up of pickleball for anybody that doesn't know. So no, Grace, I would resign Bader if that was my option. I would try to find somebody that I want to see what um, Pereira could do, and I want to see how Cabrera, the Pereira, we need to give these guys fucking nicknames because they sound too alike for me at this point. Um, yeah, thanks, Dev. It's keeping Bader on the field is the biggest concern. No, that is a concern, Brad. That's why he's not my plan A. He's like my A minus, right? The one guy that you notice in my lineup, and for anybody that just joined, I'll pull it back up real quick. Right. The reason that this would be my lineup for the rest of this season, right? For this season, I want to see what the kids have. Now, who is somebody that I really wanted so fucking bad to get a shot? It's that I do not have Dominguez up. I purposely omitted Dominguez, and I love Dominguez. I need him to get me a solid starter in the offseason. So I'm going to keep his value where it is. I'm not calling him up. He's going to stay down. I need him to progress as much as possible because I need to be able to trade him for an ace behind Cole because we know Herman is gone. I have no faith that Rodon can stay healthy at all. And Severino, he can kiss the fucking curb. That's it. So that explains the tech issues on the channel, Uncle Tats? No, that explains how StreamYard is stupid. All right? And they've had an issue. There's no way that it's my, a day that I wasn't even here on Friday, Donald, all the way from Scotland, was having technical issues. And then this morning I was having them where it kicked me off and said that I had, needed to download StreamYard to be able to use it that I was already using. It's been really weird. Sevi will pull Charlie Morton. But then let him go to another team. All right? Let him go. Who gives a shit? I just don't care. I don't trust him. He can't stay healthy enough. It's that bad. I can't do it. I don't want him anywhere near this team. Even he was saying, when you have a guy that says, I just don't, I feel like the worst pitcher in the game right now, and you keep putting him out there knowing that he's broken, Boone's a fucking moron. He's a fucking moron. What chance do you think? What do you think? He's just going to snap out of it because you gave him a little pat on the ass? And you say, go get him, slugger. No, it doesn't fucking work that way. The guy is mentally broken. Shut him down. Look, you think no one wanted the Yankee vets? No, I think that the owner was a fucking moron who decided that he knows better than everybody else in the fucking room trying to run a team that he didn't want in the fucking first place. That's why it was initially given to Hank. Decides that he wants to be the big bad boy in the playground, strutting his chest that he runs the Yankees and pull the plug on a lot of deals. Now, I want to know what those deals were, and I think everybody else does. Right? LeMahieu looked bad tonight. LeMahieu, you talk about a fucking heartbreaker. LeMahieu is, I'm starting to feel, and believe me, if my wife wasn't sleeping, I'd be even worse. I really would. This is like the Zach Britton situation. Um, so what? So what? Is there anybody in this chat right now that says that they were looking forward to seeing Sevy pitch for us in 2024, regardless of what he does for another team? Right? Sayonara, pack your bags, get the fuck out. You suck. You couldn't handle it. You couldn't stay healthy. Whenever we needed you, you broke down. Well, you shit the bed. By the end of the first inning, you already have us completely out of fucking competition. You know what? Go ruin somebody else's fucking dreams. We have enough players still on this roster that can completely piss us off to begin with. One less is not going to happen. No, Herman, blame me. Herman should have even. Look, he gave us a perfect game. Woohoo! Right? Who cares right now? Does anybody even remember that there was a perfect game this year? He's got to go. He's got to go. It's a scumbag, right? I know he's dealing. Look, alcoholism is something that, or addiction of any kind, right? And this is what I said. I'm going to say it again for people that maybe new, never heard this before. When with any type of addiction, alcohol, drugs, gambling, right? There is a mental mistake to it, and there's a mental breakdown. I really hope he gets the help he needs for his family. But he can't. But my frustrations with him is not from his personal life, with what happened this season. A few years ago, it was a different thing. We did a whole big thing about domestic violence. We posted a whole bunch of websites for people to get help, women to get help, and men too, because don't think men are immune to it. Nobody wants to see anybody suffer from an addiction. I hope that Herman, not Sevy, I hope Herman gets the help he needs and has revitalized his career, like with Sevy, somewhere else. It's got to go. He's got to go. Right? Especially with everything you heard about that was going on in the locker room. Pack your shit. Get out. That's it. Go. There's the door. Don't let it fucking hit you. Take Sevy with you. Go. The one guy that really is on the fence, and I have made the statement that Torres is a guy that if the move wasn't a complete knockout, keep him. But I wouldn't give him I won't re-sign him to a long-term contract. All right. I just don't think. I think that you use him for what you can for this year, and you move on. Slowly, game by game, Torres is starting to earn my trust, where I'm actually thinking if he's able to finish the season strong, I see if you can get a team-friendly contract. I think it might be that time. Maybe we need to. Maybe he might be that guy that, age 27 through 30 is when he peaks. Who the fuck knows? Uncle Tad says a Yankee addiction. Absolutely. You see my fucking room? Right? And believe me, I'm going to be redecorating this motherfucker. So there's going to be a lot more decorations behind me. Torres is growing on me. I'm sorry. Torres is he's looking like 2019 Torres right now, NF. You're right. You're absolutely right. If you're still with us, hit that thumbs up, hit that like. If you were to grade my lineup, right? Here's how we're going to close this out. Right? You're going to grade my line. Is this something that you would say yes or no? Would you be okay if we would just brought up these kids, We gave them the full month of September to see what they got, and we finished under 500. But the promise was there. What do you guys think? Right, we'll hang out for a few more minutes. I know for some of us it's getting late. For some of us, the day's just starting. Um, but let me know what you guys think in the chat. Um, get Uncle Tass the help he needs. That's why on the weekends I go fishing. Right, I love to go fishing with my wife, and that's my shutdown. I don't think about nothing. All I do is I look around on the water. There's no nothing. No Yankee Stadium. There's no work. There's no nothing. It's just quiet, and it's awesome. If nobody's fished, that's why I'm so patient. You want to learn how to be patient? Fish. Um, Uncle Grandpa Tass needs a pickleball addiction. No, thank you. I am not that athletic. If I was athletic, I'd be in an old man's pickup baseball league. I am not athletic anymore. Those days are gone. That's why I fish. I stand at a rail and I reel. So no, it's Sunil. You agree? You would go with the lineup. So does Brad. He agrees with the lineup, and I'm glad because I try to incorporate as much of the youth as I can while still wrapping around a lot of the veteran presence that I think can, where it's not so much because they have the contract, but I think that it's these are the players that can really help these kids grow in the positive way, right? They already had great coaching in the development part in the minor leagues. That's why they're being, lauded the way they are. That's why we want them up so bad. But at the same time, I don't trust this manager. Tats, get some boxing gloves on. We can go to. No, I would definitely box. I'm not afraid to do. Um, I tried boxing once when I was growing up in Brooklyn, and it's something that I never got into, but I always appreciated, if that makes sense, NFE. But I would definitely, I think that would be very therapeutic. Um, and I know there's a lot of people. I think Brad would be the first one online to throw a punch at me. Maybe knock some sense into me at one point. Let's see. Sunil, did you answer Cashman's misdirected voicemail message addressed to Steve Alboni yet to be this team's manager? They will not return my call, Sunil. I'm trying. I'm really trying. Uncle Tats is the new George Foreman. I don't know about that. I don't have enough kids to be George. Two is enough. I got my two boys, and I got my granddaughter. And life is good. Now, if I could just get a World Series, I think from the excitement, I might keel over and die. And as much, I don't think I could. I don't think I'd be able to just keel over. I really don't. It does make sense. Okay. I just when you're looking and trying to figure out where Uncle Tats. Right. I think Brad's having too much fun poking at me. But you know what? This is what. Good night, Grace. Grace, thank you so much. We're going to be doing this every Monday, starting at midnight. We're going to be doing the Pinstripes After Dark, and our regular show, as always, is Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, starting at 10 a.m. And then our female-hosted show on Sundays at 11 a.m. So, Grace, you're definitely going to want to check that out. It's a full female-hosted show, and definitely you have to reach out because I would definitely love to have you on with the ladies. The three of you would have so much fun. So we got to figure out a way to stay in touch. But thanks for coming to hang out. Um, let's see, NFE. Sunil, at least you didn't say Evander Holyfield. Yeah. Um, it might, Evander Holyfield would be a better comparison, right? Because what a lot of people don't know, I'll give you a little insight to Uncle Tats here. I only have one active ear, right? In my right ear, I have no eardrum. And it's been that way since I'm 18 months old, right? And so I have only had 50% of my hearing my whole life. And so with Holyfield with the bit in the ear, that'd be a better comparison than Foreman. And so NFE Tats would have won by people's ear. No, no, I don't. I'm not a dirty fighter. Never was. Never will be. Um, that's if you want to fight dirty, you deserve to just get your ass beat. Plain and simple. But listen, I think we've exhausted this whole talk about me beating the shit out of people. Brad Jewis, you know, making fun of me, picking on me. I'm gonna take my ball and go home. No. The question was brought up earlier. What was the over under for Sevi tonight in the first inning? 5 runs. I'm trying to think of that. I think if he gets out of the first inning, giving up 7, I would not be surprised. I think it's going to be a 7-on first with this guy. Yeah, believe I could hold my own, but I won't call you. I've never wait a minute, and I've lost a lot of fights, but I've won a few too. But you're not going to knock me down. I don't go down too easy, and I got a grip like a motherfucker. At work, when they got to loosen up some of the plumbing and stuff, it's I don't need the wrench. That's one thing I've been gifted with was I have an extremely strong grip. Sevi over 5. It's a guarantee. It's a guarantee. You saw what they did to Schmidt. We went up. We talked about this earlier. We saw what they did to Schmidt and how they just beat the fuck out of him. And we think that broken Sevi is going to make a difference. No, there's no way. There's no way he escapes the first inning. We think this bullpen is taxed now. Wait until after this Atlanta series. Just wait. We are in so much trouble. So much trouble. They're sweeping it. Atlanta's going to run right over us. There's no way around it. There's no doubt in my mind. Sevi 9 earned runs. I don't think there's a number that they could put up. Anything over 5, that I could definitely see it. Definitely. But we're going to wrap things up for tonight. Thank you, everybody that came and hung out on the debut of Pinstripes After Dark. I am, as always, Uncle Grandpa Tats. And to Dev, Sunil, NFE, my brother Brad. Right? We had Grace Monroe blessing us in the chat. LA Yankee King. We had Lordy with us earlier. Pete Simonetti from NYY News TV popped in the beginning, and I love him to death. Can't wait to see him on the 23rd. So, as always, love being on the live stream. NFE, I love having you. I could do this constantly. I might even pop in on another stream later on. Who knows? But before I start really getting loud and waking up the missus, I'm going to sign off for tonight. This has been Pinstripes After Dark. The next episode we're going to be doing this every Monday at midnight. Come hang out. Let's vent a little bit. Let's have a few laughs. and just kind of peel it back a little bit and try not to be so serious. I'm never serious. I love being the jokester. I love being the goofball of the show. Not knowing what's going on. Sometimes, believe me, it's not an act. It's not an act. But as I always say at the end of every show, wear your pinstripes of pride and play on.